So, first of all, welcome and thank you for this opportunity. My name is Clyde Weems. I'm a community service officer with SPD. I've been a part of SPD for over 4 years. And if you'd have told me 4 or 5 years ago that I would be a part of SPD, I probably would have laughed at you because of my background. I come from the background of working with high risk youth from Los Angeles and even New York. I've been in the game for like over 20 years. And I can honestly say that this has been one of the best career opportunities that I've ever had, simply because community service officer program started back in the early 70s. It was responding to police officers because people always found, Harlem, Manhattan, to answer the question. Yeah, high five. Yeah, so community service officers were created because a lot of people found out that a lot of civilians and pedestrians would respond to people without guns. And they were around for 20 something years. We've had amazing people. Actually, one of our current CSOs, older sister, was one of the original CSOs. She was part of the indigenous community. So there's a lot of history there. But unfortunately, through the budget cuts and timing, CSOs went away, and we've been around for about 6 years. And unfortunately, I've been part of the program for 4 years. Now, a lot of people ask me to describe my job. I describe it as, and if you talk to any CSO, they're all going to have different, explanations. But I like to describe my job as officer support. I love my job because every single day I do not know what it's going to look like. One day we're dealing with domestic violence. The other day we're dealing with looking for services for someone who's disenfranchised or mentally ill, or we'll go on a missing child search with SPD. And now, because of we've been doing so good work, they've expanded our scope of work. We're now doing more. We're doing more missing. We can go on our own looking for missing people. We're taking stolen property reports that's under $750. Like Jen said, we don't carry weapons. The only guns I have is this one. I always joke about that. But it's a great opportunity. One thing that I love about our program too is my team and my department is so diverse. We have former police officers leaving the police department to come over to be community service officers. We have social work. We have probation officers. We have people who specialize in working with high risk youth. We have people from corrections. We have, like I said earlier, parole officers. We've had people who work in who taught school. So part of my scope is I also was a high school teacher in New York and junior high. And let me say, the mean streets of Seattle are much safer and more softer than teaching junior high. Shout out to any teacher out there that did it. God bless you. I wasn't built for it, but it's a great opportunity. I've worked with Jen; she's been supportive of me. SPD has empowered me to create combine programs for youth. If you're into sports, sports can run to thousands and thousands of dollars. But with SPD and our community service officers, we provide a professional experience where we take officers who played sports in college or pro, and we put them through workouts, and we really community build. We have great times eating food, and we give these kids an opportunity to participate in football and basketball combines and potentially get recruited by colleges. And we do this all free through the Police Foundation, and just the timing of the officers, which segues me to the community building piece of this thing. One thing that I take pride in, and all my CSOs, is we represent every sector, whether it's LGBTQ plus, African American, Latino, indigenous, Martians. We have it all. We cover the entire scope. And what we do is we go to the meetings and we have conversations. And what we do is we'll report any problems in the community to SPD. We're like the go-to person. All the police officers give us so much respect and love, and we have an open door policy with our chief of police, and we're able to verbalize those frustrations that you have. Some of you may know that unfortunately, about a month ago, there were two young men who were killed at a bus stop in South Seattle. And the community was shocked and outraged, and they asked for community service officers to be more present and vigilant. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, community service officers are out there walking with the community, walking with our youth, making them feel safe, reporting any information to the police officers, and just trying to really community build. I mean, it's no secret that over the years there's been a lot of duress nationwide with police officers and the community, and I really take pride in being one of the people that, and one of the people in my department that are bridging the gap to help build those relationships and mend those things, and also voice those opinions and issues and problems, and work together to build us back as one as a community. We partner with anybody that's willing to do something positive, and we're just working. So that's my spiel. If you have any questions, you can ask me anything. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I mean, I had some beautiful pictures of some of the things that we've done, different programs from the combine to graffiti removal, to walking in the Special Olympics, to community meetings and things of that nature. But technology presents, so y'all can just enjoy my space. But I'll take any questions if you have any questions. Miss Heather?
Hey there. So, thank you for all that work. That's amazing. And I know that the community appreciates everything that you're doing. I'm just wondering if you would ever consider going for a walk with us when we do our Circle the Blocks up out of Stoop Brewing on Thursdays at 4 o'clock. So
Of course.
we
Yeah.
walk with community members just around various parts of Pike and Pine, and
I've been
um,
on a few.
yeah, that'd be
Yeah, I would
great.
love to. I would love
Okay,
to. Anytime.
great.
Just send me. I'll give Jen my information, and South Bronx.
That would
Yeah,
be great.
yeah. Anytime. Yeah. Like I said,
Thanks.
we're willing to partner and work. And if you have any questions or you want to invite us to events, all you have to do is Google Community Service Officers. We have our main contact email and telephone number. You can shoot us a thing. Please send me that information. I would definitely be there. Are there any other questions, comments, concerns, anything?
Well,
Yes? Okay. Go ahead.
so, sorry, another question. So, just around us at Pike and Pine, we are not under a business improvement area. We
Mhm,
don't have ambassadors yet.
mhm.
So, part of what we're trying to do as a community, especially where we're at around Pike and Pine, is help some of our neighbors that are in distress or have been living on the streets for a long time. And I know of somebody right now who's been living on the stoop of an apartment building for close to 7 months. And I've been working with Michelle McClendon to find him some housing, and we're still working on that together. But there's others in addition to him. Um, if, are you somebody that we can, tap for individuals like that will help us figure out where to get people's, or is
Yes,
it
ma'am. I'm
more?
glad you said that. That's definitely
Yeah.
part of our scope of work. What we do is if someone calls or we see someone, we'll approach them and ask them, are you in need of support services? And they'll let us know yes or no. We don't force
Okay.
anybody to take anything.
Yep.
If they're willing to work with us, what we can do is we can get their information. Everybody's in a different situation. Sometimes they have case management. Sometimes they
Yep.
don't have case management. Some might have access to a cell phone. Some might not. Some might have access to a family. So depending on the type of situation that they are, we will refer accordingly. So we work with Reach. We work with different various housing shelters across Seattle area. In the special occasions, we'll reach out to people that are outside of Seattle, depending on what's the need. If there's a mental health aspect, we will refer accordingly. If they're in distress, we can call officers to get permission to take them to the crisis solutions center. We'll work with the care team to also see what can be done. If they have family, we always try to reconnect and try to contact with the family. And there are different various ways, in some cases, to get them bus tickets to out of state scenarios. So to answer your question, yeah, we're definitely someone that you can reach out to for various resources. And we share resources. We don't hog these things or try to act like we're the only ones, because you might have a resource that we've never heard of or a contact. So yeah, we're definitely willing to go. And if you ever see something after hours, right? Like I said, you can just email us at the contact, give us a description, a contact name, information, and we'll follow up as soon as we can to see if we can help that individual.
That's great. How have you been working with SNF? I don't know, like they have at University District. Do you guys fit into something like that?
I'm personally not familiar with SNF. I haven't worked
Okay.
with them personally, but I'm pretty sure one of my colleagues have done. But how we usually work with organizations is we'll touch base, we'll have a face-to-face meeting or a Zoom meeting, basically to see what they offer and to see how we can contact them. Uh, like it depends on what organization it is. Everybody has different guidelines or scope of work, so we try to fit into that. But the beautiful thing about our job, like I said, is like I don't know what my job is going to look like every day, so we're pretty flexible in order to pass on that information.
Okay. Thank you.
Anytime, no problem. Thank you. South Bronx, you got something to say?
Now, how you gonna call me out like that?
That's what y'all, South Bronx, that's what y'all do.
I mean, you're not wrong, but um, I was actually curious about what if you'd had any experiences with calling 988, getting some of the new mobile crisis team folks out for help, any feedback on that kind of stuff that you have?
The only feedback that I've had is whoever I've reached out to, they've coming out post haste.
Awesome.
It's been a great partnership. I commend every entity that we've worked with because even if they're understaffed or it's after hours, oh, I forgot to go over our times, but I'll go over that. You know, they'll follow up. So we have three sets of teams. Let me because I should have said this in the presentation. I'm sorry. We start from 7:30 in the morning to 5:30 in the morning. We have another shift from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then we have my shift from 12 in the afternoon to 10 p.m. So to answer your question, it all segues because it depends on the time of the day that you can get a response from somebody, right? Because some people work 9 to 5, some people get off at 8. It's still been a great partnership because they'll do their due diligence and call us back within a day. One of the best programs that we work with is the VST program. They're volunteers and they specialize in giving services to people who are victims of domestic violence. And that's one of the entities. They're volunteer, but they have a hotline number that when we call, we leave a message, they'll call right back. And we've been able to put battered women and children in hotels and help them come up with a safety plan so they won't go back to that situation. If that's getting a bus ticket to going back with family out of state, or is that opportunity meeting with a case manager to see if they got housing, or more importantly, working with your local police department to see if they can get that abuser out of the home, order of protection, and just following up. We're not CSOs. We're not case management. I want to stress that we are not case management. We usually do a soft handoff and we'll do a follow up, but we're not someone that can do something every single day because there are only 24 of us, 20 active, and we have to also always be on call. We are dispatched by the same radio as the police officers. Police officers can call for us over air by number. My code number is CSO24. So if I'm ever in your area, you want to see me, just say I want to see CSO24. They'll let me know. If I'm not inundated, they'll come out. And again, to answer your question, it's been a great situation. Nothing's perfect, but every entity that we work with has really gotten back to us post haste and is always upfront, honest, and really trying to work with us. And the best thing that I found is if they can't help us, especially trying to find housing for someone. So I'll share a story that happened to me last week. I get a call right at 9:45, right before I'm supposed to go home. But the police department in Southwest, and we've been the only CSOs on duty. needed help with the young woman who was possibly a victim of DV, and she was 15 years old and she had nowhere to go. Once we got there, the police officers left the room and she opened up to us like we were giving her an interview. She told us that she was abused and she didn't want to go home. So we called youth care, we called a Ryan House, but there were no beds in the city of Seattle at this time, especially for being late. But they did their due diligence. Long story short, me and my partner drove after hours all the way to Mount Vernon. Now, see, I didn't even know there was a Mount Vernon, Seattle. Right, I've only been out here for 4 years. The only Mount Vernon I've ever heard of is Mount Vernon, money making Mount Vernon in New York. But we drove hour and a half to get her there. They gave her a bed. We drove her an hour and a half back here before we checked off. But the beautiful thing was all those entities made phone calls to be sure that this young woman had a bed, even if they didn't have it. So that's the type of thing that goes on. And I talked to the young lady. She's actually doing very well. She was they were able to place her with a family friend who she considers an aunt. And so right now she's thriving. So those are the type of things that happens.
That's awesome to hear. I'm glad.
Yes, ma'am. Any more questions or comments? I'm here.
So, on the note of technological issues, my laptop is currently completely frozen, but for some reason, the Zoom is still working on it. So, therefore, I am not touching it so that we all don't get kicked off. And I'm just going to operate separately from my phone, too. Um, so, Clyde, tonight, for example,
Mhm.
West Precinct is off duty. So, you have to cover West as well. What does that look like for you? Like how do you manage to like spread your time between the various precincts? What does that look like? Because there's 20 of you and four supervisors. So
Mhm.
what does that all look like? How do you kind of prioritize? Because I don't think you guys get calls the same way, right? Where it's like priority one, priority two, or do you? Like what does that look like?
Great question. Typically, a day like this would come in. Usually, there are two sets of teams throughout the week, and they're one day or 1 day a week. The entire team is there. So, how it works is if I'm east and we're closer to south, then my team will cover. Uh, the first part of the team will monitor the east air, and then my team will monitor the south air and the other team who's on will monitor west and north. So it just depends on where we're at, and we respond according who's closer or who's available. And to answer your question, no, we don't have priorities per se, but usually if an officer requests us over air, they'll let us know what's going on, whether it's a case where we'll be dealing with domestic violence, whether it's a DOA, or whether it's a situation where children are involved. They'll pretty much let us know. And if they don't give us that information, what we do is we use the same communication aspects as police officers are MDTs, and we can message the officers to ask them what's going on. Can you give us more detail? Or we can call them, we can look up their telephone number and their work cell and call them directly to see what we're going on. Like I said, the best part about my job is probably one of the most chaotic parts. I never know what my day looks like. There's never been a single day in 4 years that my day looks the same. I could come in and be like, yo, I'm gonna go do a business. I'm gonna do a foot beat and walk the neighborhood and get to know people. But I get called because there was a mother who passed out off of fentanyl, and her 1 year old child needs to be taken care of until we can contact Child Protective Services. And usually, how that looks is Uncle Clyde has to babysit a 1 year old that's never seen me before. That probably is uncomfortable. So that's how I'll spend my day, and that's what's high priority for us because that's the most important thing. We try to manage those expectations by trying to help everybody at a time. And if there's one of those things where if I'm on a call and there's nothing that I can do at that moment, I'll take another call and I will follow back with that particular person or entity and see what we can get done.
Nice. So I know you all do a ton of trauma informed work. So, what does that training look like? Since you don't necessarily go through academy like sworn officers do, what does training for CSOs look like?
Oh, great question. We get various trainings throughout the year, and it's always evolving depending on the situation. Like I said beforehand, they hire CSOs based on their experience and their needs. Like for me, I was in Los Angeles, and I was one of the few people that could go into the Blood and Crip neighborhoods and do drop offs, and I specialize in conflict resolution. There's another CSO that's trained and trained with emotional interviewing. But we'll all get those trainings depending on what it is. And then a lot of times we get a lot of the trainings that the officers get, whether it's online or whether it's in person or whether we're getting trained by a higher ranking officer, depending on the situation. Like, the funniest story I got is recently I did my first No Kings event about 2 weeks ago on a Saturday. I've never did a No Kings event, and I'll just remember that we were right there with all the police officers. So you come in, you see police officers and FBI with their, with their vest on and guns out and everything, and they're talking about what do you do if you see a package and I'm like, well, I'm gonna call. He was like, no, don't use your cell phone because you might blow up the package. I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? I don't have a gun. All I got is a phone. So they was like, well, now we know the CSOs need bomb training. And I'm like, yes. So, just because you never know what's going to be there. And I think SPD and our supervisors do a great job in taking our requests for what types of training that we think we need. And in our line of work, everything is evolving and you never know. It's all situational. So depending on the scenario and of the situation, we try to deal with it. And we are constantly in communication with the officers. We are always sitting in roll call and we're talking to the watch commanders who are there. And if there's any concerns or questions about training, or if they think that we need to add something, they will add it.
I love that. Thank you. And speaking of, the one thing that's kind of been on everybody's mind lately, coming up real soon here is FIFA. So, how do you expect your role to kind of evolve with FIFA coming to Seattle, or do you expect CSOs to like play a heavier role? What does that look like for you, do you think?
Well, the great thing is we've already been informed. We are working FIFA. But we've already done a ton of events. We've done the All Star game, we've done the Super Bowl parade. So we are well versed in working these events. And typically, how they dispatch CSOs is they'll give us an area that day that we'll patrol, and then they'll give us our duties, which usually means helping people find the things and go in the right directions, making sure lost children don't happen. And if there's lost children, that will wait with them and help them find their parents. We're staying in constant communication. Excuse me. We're staying in constant communication with our officers that day. At the All Star event, I helped out somebody who passed out from heat exhaustion and alcohol, but that's another story. But we were able to give them a situation. And at the No Kings event, there was a woman that fell and hit her head, and we were able to apply first aid and make sure that she got the medical attention that she need. I always have my this is my most important tool, my radio. It's always on me at all times, even in meetings, because if I need to get in contact with someone for an emergency situation, that they'll be there. And yeah, if you're out there for FIBA, unless my team is playing, I will be cheering and watching and being diligent to help anybody at that time. We'll be out there 24/7.
Are you a men's fan for the US?
You know what? I am a men's fan for the U.S. I actually just went to the U.S. Japan game last week. My friend works for the soccer league, U.S. Women's Soccer League, so I got great seats. So I was unfortunately our women's team lost. But yeah, I'll definitely be rooting.
I feel you. I was there. It was cold and it was wet.
It
Uh,
was. It was. But I still had a great time. Anytime I get free tickets and I'm right there on the field, I could play. I could hear Dennis Rodman's daughter cussing, so it was fun.
there you go. See, I'm a women's fan with the US team, but for the men, I'm a Germany fan, so I'm gonna
I
get booed
got
a
you.
lot this year.
Well, I'm partial to Ghana. We did our ancestry some years ago, so we found out that my ancestry is from Ghana, so I root for Ghana as much as I do U.S.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions for Clyde?
I'm just appreciating the New York accent.
That's what's up.
I don't get to hear it very often anymore.
Yeah, I
So,
know, I know. That was
uh-huh.
that was one of the hardest things for me when I moved out here because when you in New York, you don't hear it like that. When you come out here, it's like, oh, I'm speaking a whole other dialect.
And every rare once in a purple moon, it'll pop out, and I'll
Mhm.
turn around and be like, "Who said that?"
Yeah, I'm definitely. I spent the majority of my adulthood in New York, so I think I'm more. I grew up in California, but I spent 18 years of my life in New York, so I think I'm a true, real New Yorker. Yeah.
Yeah, New Yorker born and raised, and so
Uh,
Seattle is very different.
yes, it is. It's a beautiful city, very different. We'll just leave it at that.
Right. Well, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you have any questions about the Crisis Care Center levy, um, and the Crisis Care Center levy involvement in either the Crisis Care Center that'll be in Capitol Hill or 988 services or the work around the mobile crisis teams, please feel free to reach out and let me know, and
Yes,
I'll try and
yes,
make sure to help you.
yes, ma'am. I appreciate that. I'm putting my email in the chat right now. Um, so please, you guys, just send me your contact information, and let's stay in contact. And if there's any opportunity for us to meet again, or to plan, or to partner, or to do anything, I would greatly appreciate it. I think that this type of work only works if we share our resources and pull together. And like I said, I would definitely stay in contact.
Great.
Yeah,
We'll be
very much
doing some,
appreciated.
Thank you for
we'll
your
be doing
time.
some events in Capitol Hill in the next couple of weeks, so I might hit you up.
Please, please. I mean what I
Awesome.
say. Thank you for your time, and thank you for the opportunity to share. And despite not having my pictures, just having my big head in the space, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Clyde. I think I can't really overstate what you and the whole CSO team do for our whole community. And Maya, I have to give a little shout out to Maya. I got to see her earlier. I don't know if she's still with you, but Maya is the CSO supervisor for the East Precinct. Um,
Yeah, she's
that
great. Don't tell her I said that, okay? She's great, but don't tell her I said that.
the whole team is just phenomenal. Usually, uh, full transparency, the two I work with most out of East Precinct are Clyde and David, both of whom are just amazing human beings. So if you ever get the chance to work with this team, please reach out for them to come to events. They're always a blast to have at events, aside from just what they do on their day to day, which is incredible, incredible work. And I think so underappreciated when we start talking about public safety.
Well, you're awesome too. I really mean that. I don't sugarcoat. You've been awesome day one, so I appreciate you just as much.
Thank you, Clyde. So with that, we'll get some time back for this Tuesday evening, and I will see you all soon, hopefully.
Hey, Jen, do you mind if I ask Idabel a quick question?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Hey, Idabel, I'm Heather Smith, and I am on the advisory board, the SCAG, they're calling it. And that's just it's just getting
Such
going, obviously.
a lovely title, isn't it?
Yes, yes. Love it. Love it. So I'm just, introducing myself to you, but also just that's great to hear they're looking at doing some events in the community. Are those going to be promoted in like in media. So just curious if they'll be in like the Capitol Hill blog or if GSBA can get that out. And, I haven't seen anything.
These are very specific to different organizations and specific populations. So these are more targeted events that are coming up. We are going to continue to have more events as time goes on. And so we will definitely be putting those out not only in our newsletter and our blog, but we will share them out with other media sources.
Okay, got it. So no list to share, really. They're more specific. Is it just through requests of these organizations to you?
Some of them, yeah. Some of them are, for example, the folks at First Baptist had
Yeah,
requested a presentation for their congregation. So
got
we're
it.
doing one with them. There's one coming up for providers and people who are peer specialists with Peer
Oh, okay.
Seattle. So we're trying to target very specific sort of groups so that
Okay.
people can get their questions answered and such.
Okay, got it. So I'm happy to host something with you for the entire community if you'd like. And we can talk about that more. I can always reach out to Asha
Yeah,
and talk about that just because I think I know most of the businesses and individuals living within the first 500 feet there of the crisis care center.
well,
So
that would be great. We'd be happy to do that with you.
yeah, I think that just makes a lot more sense than just having, just doing the community events just for those that are reaching out. So happy to help facilitate.
I appreciate that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
You also have my contact info in the chat as well.
Oh, great. Got it right here. Thank you, Isabel.
Idabel.
Cool. Got it. Idabel, sorry. Thank you.
It's okay.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
See that? There we go. This is what I love about doing what I do, is all these connections.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
All
All
right.
right.
So we'll get some time back tonight. And hopefully I will see y'all sooner rather than later. Heather, I know we've got some things on the books for this week. And the rest of you, feel free to reach out anytime. Happy to continue making connections.
All right. See ya.
You guys have a great
Bye,
evening.
y'all.
Bye bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
all.
Bye.